Hey guys, how's my YouTube family doing? So I tried to make a video this morning. When I woke up, I was ready to make a video, and you know how they say we can plan but God plans, right? So my daughter calls me and she's frantic. She's calling me from her apartment, and she's like, I hear the smoke detector going off from the neighbor downstairs. And I was like, okay, knock on the door. She's like, I did. I've been banging on the door and everything. So I was like, well, is there smoke? And she was like, a little bit. And I was like, it's coming from the apartment, like inside, you could see it? She's like, yeah, it's coming from the bottom of the door. So I said, well, get off the phone with me and call the police, the fire department. Ciao. They took about maybe 10 minutes or less. And she said within that 10 minutes, it was so much smoke coming from the window going outside. And the lady wasn't home. She wasn't home. Her two sons wasn't home. I was like, this is crazy. So the fire department came. They had to break the door down. It was so much smoke. They evacuated, told my daughter to get out. She tried to go upstairs to get the cat, because the cat came downstairs halfway and then ran back in the house. Child, sometimes these animals. But they made my daughter wait outside, and the fire was coming from the lady's kitchen. They don't know what caused it. I'm assuming it could have been an electrical fire, because she had a portable washing machine that was all burnt up on the side. There was they said there was fire coming from the trash can, and they said there was fire on the ground. So they was like, they couldn't pinpoint where it originated. They broke her kitchen wall. I guess they was trying to see if there was fire trapped in between the walls. It was scary. It was chaotic. And the good thing about it is, normally my daughter, when she's off from work, she sleeps in late. She's a hard sleeper. But this morning she needed to buy groceries online, so she wanted to get like the first batch of food, the fresh food. So I get a ding saying that the people is starting to shop at the Instacart, and it comes to my notifications. So I text her and I was like, wow, you up early in the morning. I think it was like 7:30 a.m. when this all took place. And she was laughing. She was like, yeah, I got to get my sausages. And within like 40 minutes, she calls my phone, and I'm like, she don't normally call me unless it's something that she really need to ask me. And she called me like all frantic. Oh my God, the alarm's going off. And I'm like, what alarm? She's like, the people downstairs. And I'm like, oh wow, okay. So I called my neighbor. I'm like, are you home? And she's like, no, why? I'm at work. I'm like, there's a fire in your house. There's literally smoke coming through the door. The fire department is on the way. She was like, oh my God, she's freaking out. I was like, do you know what it could have been? Did you leave the stove on? And she was like, I don't think so. So she's like, I'm gonna try to come. I'm gonna be on my way. And I think it took her an hour to get there. Her mom came first. The fire department done threw all her stuff. It was chaotic. They had to go upstairs in my house, my daughter's apartment, and open the windows. They broke some outlet. I don't know why they broke the outlet. There was an outlet when you first come in the apartment. They broke that. I don't know if maybe something was plugged in, but it was a lot of smoke. So thank God. This just kind of reaffirms to me that God is protecting me and my family. I always pray. Remember I told y'all yesterday when I made that video about the food stamp shortage, to just always say your prayers. Always say your prayers. The angels, they will protect you. Allah knows when stuff is about to happen, because these little entities, they're always around trying to stir up trouble, because they was like, they couldn't find out how the fire started. One of the firemen told my daughter he think it was a setup, and I was like, nobody came into the apartment. I mean, he was like, it just looked strange because they couldn't figure out how the fire started. But ain't that crazy though? But that's how it be sometimes. They don't know how these things happen. But like I said, I'm just making this video as a reminder that we're not promised tomorrow. I don't know what I would have done if anything would have happened to my child. I mean, the neighbor too. I don't know. Like, let's say my daughter, if she wasn't home, and that fire would have blew up to a point where not only just our building, but anybody in that vicinity's houses. And you know, fires spread really fast, and sometimes it's hard to eliminate them. So now the landlord got to do all those repairs. It's just a lot going on. But just want to tell y'all, I meant to make a video this morning, and child, my whole day just got turned upside down. My phone was ringing off the hook. Everybody and their mama calling to find out if my daughter's okay. The landlord calling me like I'm the one set the damn fire. She's like, do you know what happened? Do you know? I'm like, call the neighbor. Why are you calling me? But she don't like talking to the neighbor because the neighbor be acting like, she don't really answer questions efficiently. So she likes talking to me more. She's like, well, did the fire people tell your daughter anything? I was like, they don't know what happened. I don't know how that works, but they didn't give a whole lot of answers because they don't know how the fire started. Child, it was a lot going on from 8 this morning to about noon. And then I ended up getting a headache. I didn't even have breakfast this morning. I ate breakfast like damn near 4 o'clock. So I pulled over just now to eat something right quick because I got a tight load. But I said, let me just make this video. I wasn't sure if I was going to tell this story or not. I was debating if I should say anything. I guess maybe because I was so frantic this morning about it. But all's well that ended well. No one got hurt, But it just kind of crossed my mind like, damn, that was a really crazy situation. So we're thinking about getting those alarms that actually can sense when things are going wrong in the apartment. So I don't know how to explain it, but they have some alarms that is connected to the smoke detector, and it'll call your phone or notify you, hey, there's smoke in your house. You know what I mean? Because as much as I hate technology and I hate this matrix, it's like we're stuck in this matrix. So it's like you got to do something while you're in the matrix to protect yourself. So I told my daughter to check out some alarm systems and call them to see if we can get one installed in that apartment. The only thing is, if it's not in the actual, let's say this lady does something careless again. Okay, I don't want to say she was careless because technically the washing machine that caught on fire, it didn't catch on fire. It was the side of the washing machine was completely melted, and it could have been, the fire could have went through the cord, through her washing machine cord, and then melted the whole side of the machine, and then it probably could have sparked and flew sparks into the trash can and whatever was on her ground, because she had stuff on her ground. I don't know what it was, but she had like loose items on the ground. Maybe pieces of paper flew out the trash can, I don't know, and caught on fire. So I don't want to say it was her fault, but let's say, God forbid, something like that ever happened again. Even if I had the system in the apartment upstairs, I'm still thinking like the system probably wouldn't pick up her, like she got something in her apartment going on until the smoke is real bad. That's the only thing. Well, maybe if I had it put in the hallway, because I don't want to be like, hey girl, you need to go get you one, because she probably can't afford it. She's a single mom, so you can't force people to do stuff. But maybe I'll just see if they could like install one inside of the hallway, because that could potentially at least give you some time to figure out when there's an emergency. But that's the thing about sharing a house with somebody, like a 2-family or 3-family house in a building or an apartment complex. You're kind of like succumb to what that other person got going on. You know what I'm saying? So if they in there cooking crack in their apartment and some shit pop off, your apartment is right next to theirs, you fucked. So those thoughts was crossing my mind. I'm gonna try not to worry about it too much, because when God got you protected, it's like, he'll find a way to make sure nothing touches you. But at the same time, I don't want to be naive either, But I told the lady, if it is a wiring issue, she really needs to not leave anything plugged in, because I got into the habit of unplugging things when I leave a home, because it could happen in anybody's home. You should always unplug all appliances, microwaves, toaster ovens, anything that can catch a spark while you're not at the house, especially if you got a pet and this pet decides to touch a button. Pets are curious, and somehow they touch the microwave and put it on 6 minutes and it's plugged in, and then the stuff is popping and you're not in the apartment or the house, because it can happen in a house too. So all these things I was making sure to tell my daughter, make sure you plug out everything before you leave that house, except for the fridge. But anyways, I just wanted to tell y'all what happened. I'm tired from all this stress. I gotta try to get me some sleep tonight. But I hope everybody's doing okay. If you're hearing about this crazy shutdown, try to lay low in November, the first week of November. If this government is still shut down by November, we're gonna have some problems. You know what I'm saying? People gonna be doing the dumb shit. So if you going to work and you live in one of those big cities, you know, New York, Chicago, don't be wearing no jewelry. I don't care how cheap your jewelry is. Just have this plain look, okay? Don't be wearing no big, nice pocketbooks. Keep your credit cards at home. Just take one basic card, but you just be safe. Be very safe. Always stay prepared so you don't got to get prepared. You know what I'm saying? And it's unfortunate that we living in these times, but like I said, people are snapping out of the matrix. They're realizing they've been bamboozled. There's a lot of upset people, not just our color. There's a lot of upset people. They've been let down by this administration, and they willing to die for what they believe in, which was the 40 acres and a mule, or what do you call it? The patriotism of what they believe was supposed to be. So now that they've been bamboozled, they ready to die by the sword at this point. A lot of people are very disappointed. And usually when people go on a rampage, it's the innocent bystanders that get it. This is a time where we really got to get prayed up, stay spiritual, stay strong, and just stay vigilant. Don't be out here too flashy. If you got cars, lock your cars up. Don't be leaving it running. You might have a GAT, but if you can't reach it in time, it doesn't matter. How swift are you? How agile are you? How quickly can you run? If somebody pulling out a gun, you gonna stand there? No, you gotta zigzag and get the hell on. Take your chances. So you just got to get to that point where, I mean, we're in survival mode right now. If you're living in the country, get you a generator. Make sure you have a generator. When they start playing with these power grids, especially when the winter time come, get you a good generator. So we just got to get to that point where we on our own. We've been relying on these lying ass people too long. We are on our own. But I'm just happy that my daughter's okay. That's the main thing for today. That's my main message. Nobody's promised tomorrow. And if you stay prayed up, God will continue to protect you, protect your family. I pray for my neighbors. I pray that the people next door to my neighbors be okay. You know what I'm saying? Because if something bad happened to them, it affects everybody on that block. So you got to get to that point where you're not just praying for yourself, but you're praying for the people that they're around, the people that when they got to go to work, those type of people, making sure they good, making sure they're not coming to work bitter and ready to go postal. So I pray for all of y'all. I pray for my subscribers. I pray that everybody is doing okay mentally, physically, spiritually, financially. We got to start looking out for each other, being on some Christ consciousness, understanding what that means, collectively conscious. When you want to snap out the matrix, you got to know how to telepathically become collectively conscious to other people. The messages that I'm saying, it's reaching through other people on their YouTube channel. I see a lot of people talking about the same thing I be talking about. I don't really watch other people's channels, only when it comes on my algorithm. If it pops in my algorithm, I watch it. And there'll be some people saying the exact same thing I might have said last week. They saying it today about Christ consciousness. And I'm like, dang, did they see my video? No, it's because people are waking up. They're waking up. The messages is telepathically reaching the people. So when you know you see a message and that light bulb is going off in your head, reach one. Reach one, teach one. If it's your neighbor, your friend, your sister, your cousin. You don't got to be on YouTube to make a difference. But this is what it's about. It's about waking up out of the matrix. Waking up out of the illusions. But not being afraid when you do wake up. That understanding waking up is your power. The enlightenment is your power. You may be confused, but you just got to go with it. Surrender to it. But anyways, I got to go. I got to make something to eat right quick. I had a long day, y'all. A long day. But I love you guys. Y'all are in my prayers. Bye.